Hello guys, today we are talking all about ways to help get our students motivated and keep them feeling encouraged throughout testing season. Now, you could definitely use these strategies throughout any test, but mostly this is going to be for those standardized state testing that is coming up for the majority of us. Now, I do want to say that this is coming from an opinion of an elementary educator, while most of these tips will also most definitely work for middle school and high school. It is coming from the opinion of someone in elementary, as well as that you'll check your state regulations and guidelines, because definitely each state and test, they each do things differently, and some of these things might be allowed and honestly some of them might not. So you'll just have to double check with that. So the first way that you are going to want to get students motivated and make them feel encouraged is by putting up encouraging posters. So here's an example of one back here. Great things take time. As you can see, I've made this one really big. So the way that I did that is when I went to my PDF, I clicked on poster. From there, I changed the size. I like to keep an overlap because it gives you a way to glue or tape onto each other. And then you're just gonna fit it together. It's like a puzzle, really. And so you can actually cut it on whichever lines you choose. But as you can see, I like to cut along the top, and then kind of, you just cut the one side and then you piece it together. And then on the bottom piece, I cut the one side and piece it together, and then I piece the top onto the bottom. Sometimes it doesn't match up perfectly. I try to move on from my perfection. With state testing, I know that we're not allowed to have any educational content up. This means I'm having to take down all of my anchor charts, all my posters, or I'm having to put up big pieces of paper to cover them up. And honestly, that can leave your classroom looking really bare. So my answer is to put out these motivational posters. So here's a few examples. So as I put out these motivational posters, not only are they motivational, but they also serve as making our classroom not feel so bare. Now, if you're not allowed to have things like this in your classroom, another great strategy is to line the hallways of, if you're not allowed to have them in like the upper grades, you could have them as they're coming in the front doors of the school, and just having kind of motivational posters all throughout is just a great way to make students really feel motivated and encouraged. If you want the link to these pre-made posters, you can find the link in the description below. They are editable, which means that they are great for you. Actually, you can even change what they say or put them in a different language. Another way to keep students feeling motivated and encouraged is to get notes that are encouraging. So I like to use cards like this. This one's colored, they come black and white, or they're free and they have different motivational sayings. Now, who do you want to fill out cards? So I like to send home 1 to 2 cards, depending on my parent involvement, and ask them to write their child a note, put it in a little envelope, and send it back. And I like to give those to students. Some other people that are really good to ask to write a note of encouragement is you could do another class of the same grade, or even within your own classroom, you could give students a name, like a partner, where they're switching off and they're each writing each other an encouraging note. I also love to do buddy classes. So in our schools, we always had a buddy class of like a younger grades mixed with an upper grade. And so we'd have to send the cards to the younger kids to write to their buddy to then send them. Is always also really fun and special. Past teachers, or even you, are great people to write notes of encouragement. A couple of the cards are definitely geared to also go with a treat. So for example, there's like a donut one that you could do like a donut hole, or this one I like to do with bubbles. And basically I like to tell them that they can use the bubbles to blow their worries and their stress away from the testing, and also use it to write them a note of encouragement from me on the inside. So like I said, if you are looking for these, you can find the link in the description below, and this set of cards is free. All right, before we go on to my next 2 ideas, if you will take a quick second and like and subscribe to this video, it will help me continue to put more wonderful teaching videos out, just like this one for you. Next up, we are gonna combat those student worries with worry confetti. So first up, what you are going to wanna do is you're gonna give each kid a colored piece of paper. And then on that piece of paper, you're gonna tell students to write down all their worries and all their questions about testing. Then the next step is that we are going to take our worries and we are going to share them. I personally like to share them as a class so that in that moment I can talk to them about their different worries and answer any questions that they're still having. You don't have to do this, of course. They could also just share them with a friend or a partner. After we've all shared our worries, we are going to take our paper and we are going to rip it out. Once we have our little pile of confetti, we are going to all take our confetti and we are going to put it in our class confetti jar. Now, I do like to use something clear so that you can see it, but you definitely don't have to. You can use a jar, or as you can see, I just grabbed a bowl from my kitchen and that works great too. You put it all in, and as you can see, if you use different colors, it mixes to make a nice confetti. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually put that on a shelf. We're gonna see that we've ripped up all of our worries. All of our worries are ripped, they should be gone, and our anxiety with testing. The fun part is that once you're completely done with testing, everyone gets to take a little handful of confetti, and to celebrate that testing is over, they get to throw it. All right, last but not least is our surprise testing box. Our testing box is a special box that comes. So the way that testing usually works is that in the states I've taught in, that it starts on Tuesday. But if your testing starts on Monday, then you'll want it to come the week before. So you always want it to come before. And I have a teacher drop it off at the door for us, knock and leave, and then we get our box. And it's all about the suspense, making it fun. So it says, do not open until after the test. And so then we talk about what could be in it. What do you think it is? Oh, it's a fun surprise for after the test. I wonder what it's gonna be. And you just kind of set it there, and you set it kind of in the front of the room so that it also builds up some fun. It's something that they're excited for. Of course, they're looking forward to being done with testing, but they're also looking forward to that anticipation of getting to see, you know, what's inside of the box. If you need some ideas of what could go inside of your box, you'll want to check out this video here where I'm going to explain some different ideas. But basically, you could put in your box anything that you can think of. It could be an experience, it could be a fun gift, it could be a snack. Anything would make it fun to give them a little treat after testing and a reward for working so hard. We know that testing is a really hard time of the year. It's a hard time on us as teachers, but it's also a hard time on the students. And so it's just a little fun thing of something to do when the test is done to enjoy all the hard work. Don't forget that if you also need some testing posters, I also have those available for you guys. And if you have any fun testing ideas that have really helped your students tackle the test, we would love for you to drop those in the comments below.